Magkakajowa ka in just 7 days!
God!
Iba't 7 years na, wala pati. Misleading claims? Learn more at asc.com.ph.
Ad Standards Council for Responsible Advertising.
Catapult Digital is a global digital marketing agency. We set ourselves apart through collaboration with our partners, not competition. From simple digital media placement, our driver's success has developed new services in building an e-commerce ecosystem. From market research, web tech and app development, search ad marketing, community management, and creative and content production, Catapult Digital remains united with their colleagues in their collective goal to make the digital space a better place for clients, consumers, and beyond.
Good afternoon to all who are tuned in today, industry colleagues, friends from the academe, PANA Facebook followers, and to our dear PANA brand builders. Welcome to the third PANA General Membership Meeting for this year. We are again loaded today with not only one, not two, but three amazing speakers, with one joining us all the way from Australia. It's going to be an afternoon of AI learnings and media trends. Amazing afternoon indeed. So please don't miss any of the speakers and join us until the end of the session. May time pa, invite your colleagues, your leadership team. Please form a group and watch us until the end of the session. This GMM will be very beneficial to big enterprise and to medium and small businesses as well. But before we proceed, may I call on our PANA President, Yas Pagliari, to welcome all of us today. Hi, Yas.
Hi, Bobby. Thank you, Bobby.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. Thank you for taking the time to attend today's GMM. I'm especially excited because this is our first GMM under our 2026 thrust of authentic brand building in an AI-enabled consumer economy. And it is actually our collective thrust because it was inspired by what you, our members, have voted on in the survey at the beginning of the year. You said deeper collaboration, more learning opportunities, upskilling, especially in the area of AI, strategic partnerships, and professional development. May I request for the one slide to be shown, please, at this point? Thus, the first key pillar of our 2026 strategic thrust is actually constant upskilling via our GMMs. We are committed to continue to make our GMMs a venue for all of us to upskill, make bolder moves in building AI ready marketing teams. Each GMM has been planned to feature AI focused learning segments covering different areas that will help our PANA brand builders across content, media, analytics, measurement, and more. And as our commitment, a certificate of participation will be given at the end of the year for members or attendees who completes all the GMM AI learning segments. And we will not stop there because our second key strategic pillar is strategic and collaborative partnerships. So we will have key learning partnerships where PANA members get the benefit of a special discount on a more comprehensive AI for marketing programs if booked through PANA. And you'll hear more of that later from our CDM partner. You've seen uh, their um, their TVC, their film earlier. Likewise, for media landscape data, not all of our members actually have access to industry data. That's a realization that we all had. Thus, we are also working to have quarterly media industry landscape sessions. So each member, big and small, can access insights through PANA. Thus, today, we will have a special section on that. You've already seen the Nielsen promo material. AI brings speed, efficiency, scale, and precision. It helps us understand our audiences with unprecedented clarity. It can help analyze patterns, anticipate behavior, and help us engage consumers at scale. But it cannot replace the one thing that sets meaningful brands apart because we're in the brand business. Authenticity, as I've mentioned earlier also, authenticity remains and will always be the foundation of every strong brand. So we will continue to leverage technology with the same North Star of ensuring authentic brand building. It is not for AI's sake only. Thirdly, I truly encourage each one of you to please sign up and be part of at least one committee in PANA this year. Be actively involved in our association and make the difference that you want to happen because your involvement will actually shape PANA's future. And as always, your 2026 PANA officers and board of directors are honored and excited to journey with each one of you as we elevate authentic brand building in this age of AI enabled engagement. So, good afternoon. Enjoy the GMM. I promise you it will be worth your while. Thank you so much.
Thank you, President Yas. Before we proceed, just a couple of reminders to all PANA members. As Yas mentioned, we invite everyone to take a more active role in PANA by regularly attending our events and joining any of our PANA committees. These are flashed on your screen. So this is a great opportunity not only to gain insights into how we plan and execute our programs, but also to connect with fellow members, PANA board directors and officers, and of course, the PANA Secretariat. Simply visit the link below, which is in the PANA website. Select the committee that you'd like, click, and fill up the form. So simple as that. So you can start visiting this in the PANA website, select your committee, and fill up the form. And please join a committee today. Also, we encourage all PANA members to keep your records updated with us. Should there be any changes to your representatives, please let us know so we can update our database promptly. This helps ensure you don't miss any important PANA announcement and updates that we send via email. Okay, on to our session proper for today. Our first speaker, Manny, is currently consulting head and strategy director at Ogilvy Group Philippines, driving strategies for brand and business growth, innovation, go-to-market, business design, and digital transformation. He was 2024 president of DMAP, or Digital Marketing Association of the Philippines, which is formerly IMAP. Manny is also a lecturer at the Ateneo de Manila University, Marketing Department and Communications Department, and the University of Asia and the Pacific School of Communication, where he teaches digital marketing and human insight, respectively. He is adjunct faculty at the Asian Institute of Management, or AIM, teaching AI and emerging technologies. He also served as a mentor in the Innovation and Creative Entrepreneurship, or ICE, program of Thames International Business School. Please welcome Manny Gonzalez for AR Marketing Essentials by CDM, one of our GMM's newest segment. Good afternoon, Manny.
Good afternoon, everyone, and happy to see you and have you all here. Thank you, Bobby, for inviting me. And I'm very excited to talk about this topic. It's talking about one of the buzzwords for how many years already, AI in brand building and marketing. Okay, so what I would share to the audiences right now, or learnings that for today, would be 5 strategic imperatives that you need to know or you need to be doing for brand building and marketing, especially in today's age of AI. And I think what makes it interesting when I was able to see the topic was that we have some experiences already with AI long before the emergence of let's say ChatGPT and the likes. Okay, so I'll give you a quick backtrack. No, throwback muna tayo sandali. Okay, early 1980s. Okay, there was a machine called Enigma. Okay, ang tawag sa kanya Enigma. It was designed to determine or predict the code to decipher or decrypt a military message. It actually tried to mimic human behavior on what would be eliminated from the choices. Okay, this was one of the first few considered AI machines, and that was 1918, right? So let's go forward a bit. No? Okay. I don't know if any one of you would remember this. Magkakaalaman tayo ng age dito. But this was a game between Kasparov and a computer named Deep Blue. I think this was 90s ba or 2000s? I think 90s, no? For those who are watching, you can type it in the chat box. I think 90s, no? And I was a kid when I was actually watching the game between Kasparov and Deep Blue. That was AI. Okay, that was AI. 90s, we already were feeling AI becoming part of a lot of the activities of people. More recent ones, maybe for the younger ones, no? So younger generations natin, you might have heard of the AlphaGo competition from a few years back versus a human person. That was also AI. Okay, and as we go along, a lot of culture, media, and references actually started introducing to us AI. 2018 or 2019, I remember this because this was before the pandemic. Okay, Startup, for those of you who watched Startup, the series, okay, it told the story of entrepreneurs who created a machine that can detect faces at first, no? And then later on, self-driving cars. That was AI. Okay, and in that moment, no, during that time of the pandemic, I remember this 2020 to 2022. That was the time when AI suddenly exploded because of ChatGPT. We were actually very much engrossed during that time on not trivial but really interesting ways to use ChatGPT. I remember gawa ka nga ng joke with ChatGPT, gawa ka ng poem, and so on and so forth. Only to realize that in just a span of 3 years, it will be one of the biggest moving forces, if not the biggest revolutions that has happened in our society today. AI has been progressively making its way in our lives. And in our case, we have been seeing this every once in a while as brand builders, as marketers. AI has been there. I'm sure you've heard of your media team talking about AI and the likes when it comes to placements. It has been there. Okay? And the task right now is to understand how we can make the most out of it for brand building. So I'll take you through 5 imperatives for brand building and marketing in today's age of AI. I will already give you a quick heads up. There, I had a difficulty in one of the videos, so I'm presenting PDF right now. But I will make sure that I will leave with PANA a copy of the PowerPoint with the videos. But it will be it will be very interesting to note the insights that we'll have. So 5 points: a master AI fundamentals for brand acceleration. How do you do that? Second, hyper personalization is another buzzword that we are hearing a lot. But what if? Okay, hyper personalization using AI at Filipino scale. Okay. Third, we hear a lot of new models right now or philosophies in marketing, di ba? Loops, not funnels. Okay, the messy middle. How can AI help you understand or make sense out of the complexity of those models? Okay, for those handling brands, okay, you're managing your team is asking, are we using AI or not? Or if you are using it already, maybe the question is, how do we maximize it moving forward? You should evolve your role from managing campaigns to actually orchestrating your brand with AI. Okay? And last but not the least, what you will see in a bit would be building brands that are future proof because AI serves human connection and not the other way around. Okay? Interesting insights that we'll have here. But at the end of the day, you'll see how we can still value the human person behind AI. Let's go. First, master AI fundamentals for brand acceleration. Okay, practical tools. Okay, practical tools. So hindi to sci-fi. It's already here. It's already transforming brand building and marketing in the Philippines and globally. Okay, ChatGPT was part of that year wherein generative AI started out. So right now there are a lot of different ways to maximize this technology that we are experiencing. Some of you might know these already, but for those who are starting out, let me give you a quick overview kung yung types of AI that you can actually look into and when and where to use them. Hey, first, the popular one, generative AI for text, image, video, and voice. So it's 10 times faster in terms of content creation, used by 54% of the Philippine organizations right now for over a year. Okay, and perfect for localized ads, social, and perhaps even packaging, because it does a lot of that tedious work in crafting, in composing, right? So generative AI, what do you have today? You have ChatGPT, you have Gemini. Personally, I use Grok, but I'm not promoting it. Grok only because it's so real time. Okay, but the idea of the best way to actually make the most out of it is use it in an ecosystem or any combination. Okay, next, I think Bobby mentioned earlier on that I also do a lot of data work. Okay, when it comes to data work, I now move from generative to predictive and machine learning. So if you're looking for audience segmentation, trend forecasting, dynamic pricing, forecasts, yan ang mga kailangan nating tingnan, no? Manny, question. I heard that there are generative AI that can do data analytics. Yes, there are. No? There are. Actually, for that one, I use Claude for data analysis in terms of generative AI platforms. Okay, but still, okay, if you are looking at enterprise level later on, kung maramihan na talaga, it's now a good combination of generative and machine learning. Okay, and sometimes that's what I tell even my students, no, na AI is not just for composition. It can be for strategy, business intelligence, and so on and so forth. So use it to its extent, to its power to grow your brands and businesses. Moving on to the third one, NLP and conversational AI. So real-time chat, sentiment analysis, okay? For those who are running or on top of brands that are service-oriented, conversational AIs and NLP will actually, will actually help you a bit. So these are for those who are hearing this for the first time, these would be the chatbots. No? Pwede nyo kausapin. No? You can actually infuse a lot of AI work there so that it becomes more intelligent. Okay. Then we will have computer vision and recommendation engines. So those that can scan optically and then already process the information. And the recent one, you might be hearing a lot of this right now, agentic AI. Okay. So these are autonomous AI systems that don't just create or predict. They actually work together, in harmony, so that you don't even have to prompt every single time. Bigay mo lang yung kailangan gawin. Kasi right now we do, di ba? Parang imagine you are a content strategist and you need to do this, blah, 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 blah. And then it generates. No? Agentic AI, you train it, you program it, it works together with different quote-unquote agents, okay? And then it does the job. Okay? Needless to say, the magic of brand acceleration, okay, lies not just in using or harnessing the power of one type of AI. Usually kasi generative yung go-to natin. But if you go to your different departments, the CRM department, the IT department, if you actually combine it with the slew of or lineup of AI approaches here, okay, brand building and growth actually becomes more powerful. Okay, next, hyper-personalization. We hear this a lot. AI usually is the key to easily execute personalization, right? But what if, okay, lagyan natin ng context. This is where, again, a topic I like, putting in human context into AI. What if we hyper-personalize at Filipino scale? Not just reaching more Filipinos, but reaching even the nuanced challenges of brands and marketers in the Philippines, from mass to meaningful for our culture. Okay, so consumers now expect experiences that feel are made for them. So AI makes this possible at scale. The opportunity in the Philippines, use AI for culturally nuanced personalization. Local languages, sari-sari insights, sari-sari store insights, learning through history or Gen Z mood-based content. Okay. I'll pick out one area here, which is one of the biggest puzzles in brand building and marketing. From what I experienced now from the different agencies, clients that I have been serving, sari-sari store. Diba? How do you crack the sari-sari store code? Can I drive personalization in sari-sari stores? Can I understand the behavior of people in sari-sari stores at real-time level? There were a lot of attempts na may mga tools na kailangan mong input para makuha mo. But, okay, lo and behold, we already have that. Meron ng AI in sari-sari stores that have been deployed. So this is the work of Packworks, from last year. So they equipped sari-sari stores in a simple way, hindi yung major hindi siya major investment, but a simple way to infuse AI in their sales, and it tracks what? Behavior, purchase patterns, etc. And then ano nangyari? Okay? Since meron ng information yung sari-sari store owner na, ito pala yung top selling, ito pala yung predicted na tataas na sales for this product in the next few weeks. And you're seeing the results of the bottom portion. Okay? Tumaas yung sales nila because ng personalization sila with the help of AI. Who would have thought, right, that personalization can be done at that grassroots level? So kudos to the Packworks team for making this happen. I was very excited when I saw this news. Third, dealing with new brand and marketing models with AI. Mga buzzwords ulit. Funnels to loops, messy middle, okay? Journeys reimagined. Or for those who are handling brands or those in companies na sales is always a discussion of kanino natin i-attribute, okay, na platform, okay? This is where we now look into the power of AI to be able to deliver that. AI helps us grasp the complexity of understanding behavior in a digital world. It becomes complex because yung messy middle, yung funnels to loops, yung attribution in the sales cycle is heavily influenced by human behavior, no? That you cannot track easily with the digital. But okay, what if we are able to do that with the help of digital? Okay? What if AI can also later on be that push to actually drive digital behavior change? So some quick informations here or trivia. So AI changes digital behavior. So this is so interesting. Uh, 71.5% of users now search and discover via conversational AI. Dati SEO, SEM, now people are looking into GEO. Paano ko mapupunta doon sa sagot ng AI, right? Gen Z skips Google, TikTok ang ginagamit nila, and hence, ang favorite word ng Gen Z natin, algorithm. How do you hack it? And so on and so forth. Look at the behavior, right? And how do we do that with AI? So this is coming from the holding group of Ogilvy, WPP, and it's available naman siya. No? So we have this super agent in WPP. We call it the behavioral science super agent. No? So what does it do? Okay, it actually tries to understand the psyche of the culture you're in, and then it recommends what would be the best behavioral science approach para ma-convince mo siya na gumawa ng habit or maging fan ng product mo. Okay, last but not the least, evolve your role. Okay? From campaign manager to brand orchestrator. AI plus HI, artificial intelligence, human insight. That would be the best combination, right? Steven Johnson, co-founder ng Notebook LM, sabi niya, ang age ng AI is the revenge of the humanities. Ano ibig sabihin nun, Manny? If you're good in humanities, if you're good in social science, I was going to say social media. If you're good in social science, inciting creativity, then you are better equipped to actually handle AI. Okay? Kasi malalaman mo kung paano mag-prompt talaga that will drive empathy, impact, and action. Hence, you future-proof your brands. No? And I think I wanted to flip this on Bobby. Don't just ask, is your brand ready for AI? Ang itanong nyo, is your approach on AI suited for how brands are built today? Okay? It all depends on how you, the human, would actually think about it. So this video, I'll share with you how AI actually built the network of our small business owners in the past. So again, I just can't play it because of PDF format, but you will have a copy of this. Some parting shots. Build and design AI capability and experiences that fit your brand purpose. That's what's important. Okay? So again, thank you so much. It was quick overview, but those are 5 imperatives that you should be looking into for brand building and marketing in today's age of AI. Okay? So key takeaways. Audit your AI use. Does it enhance human connection? Okay. Yes, it does. It does automation, but to stand out, look at this: human connection, and not just simply replacing it. Invest in your team. Train on strategy, AI fluency. Start with pilots. Okay. Lead the ship. Look for partners who have AI and HI to help deliver brand-suited AI. Last but not the least, don't just adopt AI. Make it Filipino. Human first, story first, brand first. Okay. So before I end, very quickly, so some of the topics I took here or shared with you here are part of CDM or Certified Digital Marketer AI program. So we'd like you to also try it out. So go deeper with the CDM AI Marketing Program. We have the different modules from the introduction on modern marketing with AI down to setting up the systems, the ecosystems, and operationalizing it. Okay. So I'd like you to also look at a quick screenshot of this slide for the different modules or yung learning sessions that you will experience. And I do hope to see you in one of the sessions I teach in this classes, by the way. So again, thank you so much and have a great day. It's been an honor sharing with you these imperatives that we need to do for today's time. Maraming salamat.
Good afternoon, PANA members. Today, we are thrilled to unveil a landmark partnership designed to future-proof our industry. Welcome to the PANA CDM Marketing Leaders Program. In an era where business as usual is no longer enough, PANA and the Certified Digital Marketer have joined forces to help you see your advantage. This isn't just another training course, it's a comprehensive leadership ecosystem built to bridge the gap between traditional brand building and the digital first future. We all feel the acceleration of AI and digital transformation, but the reality is that a critical capability gap is widening. Currently, 74% of companies are struggling to actually achieve or scale value from their AI investments. Why is this happening? It's not just the technology, it's the expertise. 39% of businesses cite a simple lack of AI knowledge as their primary barrier to growth. The clock is ticking. By 2030, 60% of the global workforce will require significant upskilling or reskilling. To remain competitive, our teams need to master these tools now. The Marketing Leaders Program is our answer to these challenges, empowering the next generation of Filipino marketers with credibility and skill. It starts with world-class training and professional certification, building in-demand capabilities in AI, data, and digital strategy. You gain a credential that signals you are truly future-ready, but it goes beyond the classroom. You'll get exclusive access to the Brand Masters Collab to learn from industry titans and receive formal recognition as part of the prestigious Class of 2026, with graduation ceremony at the BMC conference. Finally, we will have a directory of brands and individuals who participate published on the PANA website. This positions your organization as a champion of talent and elevates your visibility among the country's top emerging leaders. The best part? This full experience, valued significantly higher, is available for only 26,000 pesos, but only for the first 50 enrollees. We know that every marketing team has different priorities. That's why we've designed 3 distinct tracks, all bundled with the PANA CDM Brand Masters Collab. Track 1 focuses on leadership in AI, featuring the CDM AI for Marketing program. This is for those looking to automate and optimize at scale. Track 2 is for leadership in digital marketing, centering on strategic growth and performance. And Track 3 targets leadership in digital creativity and storytelling, blending heart with high-tech execution. Each bundle includes the Brand Masters Collab. While the standard rate is nearly 52,000 pesos, our GMM special brings your investment down to just 26,000 pesos. The future of Philippine marketing is digital, first, responsible, and creative. Are you ready to elevate your team? Scan the QR code on your screen now to register and secure one of those first 50 slots. If you have questions, reach out to the CDM team or the PANA Secretariat. Let's build the next generation of marketing leaders together. See your advantage today.
Thank you very much, Manny, for that wonderful
Yes,
news.
of course.
So let me just reiterate that because that is a very, very relevant, very important modules or learnings that all of our marketers need to learn. So guys, CDM is offering 50 slots at 50% off exclusively for PANA members. So if you weren't able to catch that video, it will be posted in PANA Facebook page. Catch it there. And again, we are looking at the first 50 who can avail of this session, of this full course at 50% off. Guaranteed yan. Tayo lang ang binigyan ng CDM ng 50% off. So with that, thank you again, Manny, for this wonderful opportunity of sharing AI with our PANA members. Watch out for another AI-focused updates in our succeeding GMMs in the AI Marketing Essentials segment by CDM. All right, on to our next speaker. Our next speaker is Joanna Cristina Tino, is the business development director of Karma Philippines, leading the company's growth market expansion in the country. Tina works with organizations across government, finance, hospitality, automotive, NGOs, and conglomerates, helping leaders turn media data into strategic insights on reputation, visibility, and risk. Known for her consultative approach, she drives a shift from volume-based reporting to insight-led decision-making that delivers real business impact. A familiar face indeed at PANA because Tina previously joined Jeremiah Rodriguez to discuss the rise of automation. Since joining Karma in 2023, she has led its expansion in the Philippines, building a strong client base and contributing to regional growth across APAC. In 2024, she was named Karma Ambassador, APAC Business Development Director of the Year, and Marketer of the Year. And also in 2025, she received the Director Excellence Award at the NGI Global Recognition Award in Dubai. She will be presenting back to back with a fellow colleague in Karma, Kali Sakas, which is joining us all the way from the land down under Australia. As consumers increasingly rely on AI chatbots for information, brand visibility within LLM responses is becoming critical to reputation management. Drawing from Karma's research, Kali explores the shift from traditional research to conversational AI and what it means to brands and communicators navigating this new landscape. Kali Sakas is the Chief Insight Officer at Karma with over 20 years of experience delivering award winning research for global brands. She leads insight teams across markets, driving innovations and growth. She serves on the AMEC board 2026 and 2027 and chairs its Asia Pacific chapter. A frequent international speaker, Kali presented at leading industry forums and holds a communication degree from Charles Sturt University, along with executive training in applied analytics from MIT Sloan. Mabuhay Kali Sakas, but we will be starting off Karma's presentation with Tina. Hello Tina, good afternoon. You're on mute.
Hi, good afternoon again, Bobby. So, thank you. Before anything else, I'd like to acknowledge the people who have made this connection with PANA so meaningful over the years. And first, I wanted to say thank you to our president, Yasmin Malyari. Of course, to you, Bobby, for having me again today, and Joe, our project manager for communications, who's been extremely diligent in making sure that everything is up and running, and Attorney Ricky Salvador, our auditor at PANA Board of Director, and the rest of the PANA board. I also wanted to say thank you, special thanks to Kane Lerona, who first introduced me to PANA. And I still remember his famous line back then, until now, we can do it. And of course, our former president, Meek Atienza, thank you as well for the support early on. So what started 2 years ago as an introduction to PANA became something more meaningful. And through PANA, I have gained a lot of professional connections, genuine friendships, and also conversation to continue how we think about brands, media, leadership. So please, for those who are watching us today, please support PANA, join the membership, and you will never regret being part of the group and part of the PANA community and family as well. So, also, I wanted to say thank you for everyone joining us during the lunch. We have shared this PANA event to our LinkedIn friends, Facebook friends, PANA members, colleagues across Karma's offices around the world, from North America, Middle East, Africa, Europe, and of course, Asia. Thank you for joining us today and for being part of the conversation. As Bobby had mentioned, my name is Tina. I am the Business Development Director based in Manila from Karma. So, 2 years ago, our General Manager Jeremiah Rodriguez and I were here for the session on the rise of automation. Can I show this next slide? So, that was just 2 years ago when we talk about the automation as the beginning of the reshaping the economy, media, and the creative industry. So I just wanted to show the next page and the third page rather. So at the time, uh, it felt like it was already a major shift 2 years ago. It 2 years ago, if you can still recall, Chat GPT was already getting a lot of attention. We are already relying on Chat GPT, but things have already changed now. Things has happened in a snip or in a blink of an eye. Chat GPT is already domineering or has been using by almost everyone here in the Philippines. So that conversation has moved even further because the question is whether or not AI is changing the way we work. The question is, are we AI enough? So, moving on to the next slide. All right. So, when people wanted to know who you are, what the company does, or what the brand, if the brand is credible, back in the day, if we wanted to search for something, di ba sinasabi nila, i-google mo. So, when you Google now, people are no longer looking at the first page, second page, or even the 10th page. What we are now relying when we are searching on Google is the summary at the top, the AI summary. So that is already the AI doing us the hard work or the uh, doing the hard work for us to really just summarize everything. People no longer have the time to search through the pages from first page up to the last page. We just wanted to get the summary, and from there we can just look into the sources. So more than going to the website or search engines, gone are the days that that people will look for the third link, look at the website, check about us, our products, our services, right? But more so, they are now going straight to the platforms like ChatGPT, Gemini, Meta AI, asking direct questions. So instead of the risk there is that it already summarizes about us, what we do, and what we seem to stand for. And that really changes the game for the brands and also for the leadership and the communications team. So your first impression is no longer just on your website. It is no longer just on your social media pages. It is no longer your SEO ranking, but rather increasingly the first impression is becoming an AI generated summary of you. So going back to the slides, to the next slide. I'm sorry. Let's move on to the next slide. Okay. So when we talk about the AI, okay, it is already pushing us to the conversation or the discovery about us. So, as I have mentioned a while ago, we are now talking about AI influencing the discovery, perception, and even the reputation. So, in many ways, it is already changing the game of how we wanted to be discovered. So this is just something that I have thought about how to relate it to all audiences, especially in the Philippines. You can try this as we speak. You can open your chat GPT, Gemini, or Meta AI, and you can type this question. What do you know about? And then you put in your full name. What comes up? Check if is it accurate, is it flattering, is it you, do you resurface now on the summary of AI, and then you can go to chat gpt, upload your photo, and then ask create a caricature about me based on my job and everything that you know about me. You'll be surprised how ChatGPT will create an image of you. But the question is that how you want to be represented? Is it, does it think of the way you stand for? Does it reflect the leader that you work for many years to become? Is it updated? Okay, so it actually reveals how we are now perceived by AI, and that's why it is very important that visibility is no longer just about volume. I'll move on to the next slide. I hope that you have tried it yourself. All right, so this is why exactly why at Karma we look at the Karma. We have also come up with reports such as Karma CEO Media Index. Okay, so this report looks at what media narratives reveal about Filipino CSO, not just how visible they are, but how they are framed on the earned media. Because visibility is no longer just about the volume, but it is also about the credibility, vision, communication styles, and the leadership practices. Um, I hope that we have CEOs listening to us. It is very important and very crucial for your presence to be elevated and to also work on the earned media. And in AI driven world, those narratives even matter more because earned media and published content does not just influence the public or the human perception anymore. It's also AI doing the systems narrative to connect and summarize the brands, the leaders, and also our advocacy. So if media narratives are already shaping the reputation, they are also increasingly shaping the AI reputation too. So that brings us to the today's main discussion. If AI is becoming the first point of contact for discovery, and if media narratives are increasingly help shape what AI says about us, then the brands and communication professionals should also need to ask a very urgent question. How visible are we in terms of the AI generated answers, and what can we do about it? To help us unpack that, we are joined by someone who brings both strategic depth and global perspective to this conversation. I am very proud and happy that we have Kali Sakas, which is our Chief Insights Officer with more than 20 years of experience in the communications, measurement, and insights. She leads our insights team across multiple markets and drives innovations in research, strategy, and measurement. It's very hard to book her a meeting, but thank you, Pana, for having us here. She serves as the International Association of the Measurement Evaluation of Communication, AMEC board from 2026 up to next year, and the chair of AMEC's Asia Pacific chapter. Kali, as mentioned by Bobby, has been spoken at the leading industry conference, including IABC, PRIA, Global Summit, and more. Today, she will take us deeper on how consumers are increasingly turning AI, chatbots, information, why visibility within large language model generated response is becoming critical to reputation, brands, and what this means for our marketing team, communication professionals navigating this new landscape. Can I move on to the next slide, to the last slide? I think that's the last one before. Okay, let's keep the conversation going. Please add me on LinkedIn, Joanna Cristina Toledo Tino, and you can also scan this one. All right. I hope that you were able to make it. I hope that you're able to scan it. But please join me in welcoming my colleague, Kali Sakas, Karma's Chief Insights Officer, all the way from Australia, as she takes us deeper into what means to build visibility, credibility, and relevance in the age of AI and large language model.
Thank you for such a wonderful introduction, Tina and Bobby. I'm delighted to be here. I'm so excited to take you through what we've been exploring and what we think is incredibly important for PR and comms, marketing and advertisers. I come today really from the view of measurement and evaluation, PR and communications. So hopefully we're providing a different lens on the opportunities and risks currently available through LLMs and LLM analysis. A big welcome from Australia. Thank you for having me today. It's a very exciting opportunity. I'm going to talk a little bit about LLMs, what drives the answers, and then really focus on the so what, the now what for everybody involved in marketing and communications. As Manny has given us a wonderful introduction to the world of LLMs, we're talking about large language models. ChatGPT was the first to really break in and probably one of the first models that we all used. But there are always emerging players. And I think the landscape of LLMs constantly changes. There are new players coming up. DeepSeek and Grok are relatively newer players than Claude, Perplexity, and ChatGPT. We also have the emergence of national and niche LLMs, Sea Lion in Singapore, for example. So we have always change in this world of LLMs. And I'm going to take you through how to understand this world, how to understand those opportunities. First of all, and I think Manny summed this up very well by looking back in history and seeing that AI has been influencing us and helping us for a very long time. I always like framing technology and innovation by really using the Gartner model, the hype cycle that they have created. There is a very predictable pattern as individuals and as organizations, the way that we actually relate and adopt technology. And it usually follows what you could see on screen, the Gartner hype cycle. What you can see here is the hype cycle and where we were at for specific AI technology. What you can see is at the start where there's an innovation trigger, when something comes into our lives, we get very excited about it, and we build expectations into those tools or into that innovation so that we build it into inflated expectations, which can only go one way from the top, and it's down. So once we get to that peak moment of excitement about what this can bring to us, we realize that it wasn't all that we thought it was, and then we fall into this trough of disillusionment. After that point, we actually get practical. We actually learn how it will help us in a meaningful way, and we adopt it. And what in the long term, we call that the plateau of productivity, where we are using it in our personal lives, we're using it in work, we're not overinflating what it can do for us, but we're using it in a practical and tangible way. You can see here that generative AI is fallen off the peak. It's now looking in that zone of disillusionment. We're now saying, oh, that wasn't what I expected, or I'm having trouble making it be consistent in performance, or I'm having some issues with reliability. Yes, we're discovering that there are limitations. At the top of the peak, AI agents right now. So as Manny talked about, AI agents are the hottest thing right now in AI. And we are really, as businesses, as individuals, putting a lot of emphasis on what we expect from AI agents right now. A really good way to look at any type of technology. I always like looking at this because it provides a long-term perspective of where we are and how long it will take to get to that place where that plateau of productivity for most technologies. And I think most of you on the call will have realized that the one to really watch and the one that most of us are really excited about is that general intelligence, the artificial general intelligence, which is still on that upward cycle point of the cycle. So interesting to put it all into perspective. One thing that I've learnt and that I continually am reminded of is this landscape changes at a rapid pace. The growth is absolutely exceptional, and it is far faster than previous technologies. So Google search does not compare to the speed at which ChatGPT had user adoption. So we've seen a 251% growth in LLMs, so in all services between February 2024 and March 2025. So that year-on-year growth is absolutely exceptional. As I mentioned as well, we're seeing growth in the landscape. We're seeing new players emerge. We're seeing changes to the services that people are bringing. So I think expecting change and planning for the fact that nothing is completely permanent in this world, that you need to train your teams to adapt to technology, very important in the LLM landscape. I'm going to take you through a few of the key trends that I think are worthwhile knowing, worthwhile in terms of how you position your next steps and how you think about Gen AI. What are the trends that really make a difference for organizations that are members? I think one of the biggest things and the biggest ways of excitement that I've seen in measurement and evaluation over the last 20 years is Gen AI search, because it's very different from classic search, that SEO. GEO is something different, but also PR and communications can play a much, much stronger role in Gen AI search because it puts earned media back in the spotlight. There is a lot of research coming out about the degree to which earned media influences LLM answers. Research that I've seen starts anywhere between 50% of all of the sources that are cited from LLM answers to 89% of all links cited are earned media. So earned media is having a little bit of another 15 minutes of fame, if you will, through Gen AI search. And that's something that has implications, risks, and opportunity. When we look at the younger demographics, so we look at Gen Z, already jumping to use TikTok as a main search engine. We're aware that Google search still commands and dominates the search. 90% of us still use Google search. It's very, very commanding, but we're seeing that demographics such as Gen Z go straight to ChatGPT for information, for collaboration instead of search, but more so go to direct social platforms for search as well. And obviously for a group like yourselves, all eyes are on what I call the iPad kids, the Alpha, Gen Alpha coming up. We will have a lot to examine and unpack in the way that they interact with these technologies. One thing to note as well with the LLM landscape, when you're working with different LLMs and the information that it's returning to your audiences, is that OpenAI ChatGPT has a dominant lead. It was pretty much the first to market here on a mass scale. 83% of all generative AI tool traffic goes through OpenAI. So while there are a lot of other platforms, it's not equal. Very important to see that use. Looking today at how it will impact PANA and your members, I was really interested to see that the Philippines ranks very, very high on the top locations by share of traffic to Gen AI websites. So you're fifth globally with 4% of the population driving traffic to Gen AI. So very, very uneven use across our global markets, but obviously very, very high use in the United States. Philippines coming in ranked fifth. When we look at ChatGPT, the audience in the Philippines ranks sixth globally, and we can see that your use of ChatGPT is far above the global average. So we can see that 42.4% use ChatGPT in the past month compared to the global average of 26%. So you have an audience that is using ChatGPT more than most markets. You have a real opportunity with ChatGPT. It's also interesting to look at the landscape in terms of what are we actually using different LLMs for. You'll all be aware in your professional lives and personal lives that we don't just use one model to answer things. And the reason why we use models for specific tasks is actually quite varied. For ChatGPT, we tend to use it quickly. We go in and we search for information. We spend more time on LLMs like Claude and Copilot. And I believe that's because we're co-creating, we're collaborating, we're building something with Claude. Manny, you mentioned that you use Claude for data analysis. I think that's why the average session times in seconds are much longer when we look at the trends. So ChatGPT still has the majority of sessions, but we see longer time being spent on other tools. Okay, so it's on the rise. We know it's important to your audiences. We know it's important to your brands. Let's have a little look at what drives the responses that your audiences receive on these platforms. When we put anything into LLMs, they're drawing on two things. They're drawing on their training and they're drawing on what it can go and find for you on the fly. So parametric knowledge is what it has been trained over time to do and to know. You'll be able to identify results that are parametric because they're vague. They're those big confident statements that don't have a citation. That's coming from the training. Important to note that all LLMs cut off the training. The data that they've used to train cuts off anywhere between 3 and 6 months. So currently ChatGPT 5's training material takes it up to August 2025. When you're asking questions that it needs to surface real-time information, it's using its non-parametric knowledge. So it's going off on the fly and searching for information. And it's those real-time searches where it's searching the web is where we're getting it to look at LinkedIn, your company website, news, earned media really comes into play there. Sometimes this doesn't go to plan. And it's interesting, I was using Claude this week to analyze images of the US-Iran conflict because I wanted to code images to see what lens different countries have seen the conflict. Have we seen images from a humanitarian angle? How have we seen a military technology angle? What imagery has really led the way? And I was using Claude to do the heavy lifting. Claude gave me results in about 1 minute and 30 seconds. He had gone and analyzed all of my websites that I'd given and come back with an Excel document with everything analyzed. When I checked the quality of his work, I really was quite alarmed. And I asked him, what are the limitations? I don't think you've done what I asked. And I found it quite hilarious, the answer you can see on screen. He said, you're absolutely right. And I apologize for not being upfront about this from the start. And then talked me through what he'd done versus what I'd asked for. And you can see that last sentence is that in an exercise where it was purely to analyze images, the LLM had never saw a single image in this exercise. And this has really, really reminded me of some of the key quotes that come out about LLMs being the most confident liar you've ever met. And really this advice that we should treat AI like the smart friend who is often wrong, but always confident. So I think for your members today, it's that awareness that the confidence that these answers are delivered can sometimes be very powerful for audiences. And if that's based on misinformation, if that's based on old information, it's an area of risk. So I think framing it in terms of if the prompt is wrong, if we don't understand the limitations, all of the efficiency and all of the value that the LLMs can bring can be undermined. If we go into understanding how LLMs use sources, this is an area where we are likely to see very big changes especially through ChatGPT and Claude, because there are publishing deals going on in the background that will change their access and ability to train and to resurface content from news sites. But what we can see here is that each tool, Perplexity, Claude, and ChatGPT, draw upon very, very different sources. The number one source for ChatGPT is Wikipedia. The number one source for Perplexity is HBR and TechRadar. And Claude usually surfaces a lot of content from Reddit as its number one source. ChatGPT favors fast breaking news. It skews towards financial titles. Perplexity, we find that it's more the evergreen content. It's not so much that those sites that are in the breaking wire services, it's more longer term content that is returned. And Claude likes the fresh or community driven content from the likes of Reddit. You can also see on this table that the average citations that each LLM differs. So ChatGPT will give you potentially 3 or 4 on average for each search, going right up to Claude, who will give you a lot of different citations for the results. So up to 9 to 10 is the average. This has significant implications for media and comms, for the publications and the sources that are on our radar. A lot to actually unpack and a lot that things like Wikipedia pages and Reddit have not been on the radar with our clients for a long time and are now suddenly sources of information that are a primary focus. When it comes to news as well, these are the top 6 news sites that each of these LLMs brings back. You can see the point that I've made on the previous slide. ChatGPT, Gemini, really similar profile. They're bringing in the hard financial news, Financial Times, Forbes, Reuters, FT really coming through on Gemini. Whereas Claude will look at Good Housekeeping, Tech Radar, NPR, HBR, CNBC. So very, very different landscape, and very important to understand that your audiences are getting responses from these LLMs, and the source of those responses are all quite varied. The opportunities there's a lot of opportunities. I'm going to walk quickly through these. Obviously, it's important, first of all, to understand how your brands are showing up in searches. Are you visible when people are asking very broad questions about your product segments or your sectors? Are you visible, and how are you showing up in that? Number 2, most of our clients at Karma have their tier 1 media lists and their influencer lists, but they hadn't developed what a Gen AI list might look like. So that list of where, when people search in your industry or for your brand, what are the media titles that get cited? And that's something where most organizations are in this phase at the moment of saying, okay, I need to look a little bit more widely. This is important, and I need to get my Gen AI list sorted. Third point here, understanding which LLMs are positive towards you, which are negative, which has your strongest messaging, which are more aligned to what the content that you are putting out. And number 4, very, very tactical opportunities, and where most organizations are right now, reviewing the way that news releases are written, updating Wikipedia pages, making sure that your company website is up to date so that that information is coming through. As an example here, we often find a very much debated topic of the death of the PR, the death of the news release, the death of the press release. What we're finding is almost a second life for media releases. If they're sitting on your website, LLMs are going to your website and bringing those back. And most of the time, they're having a significant impact in the information about you that's coming back in searches. So what's old is new, and very, very important to actually think widely and understand how your audiences are engaging and what content they're engaging with LLM answers. The risks are obvious, but I wanted to sort of go through a little bit here. Misinformation and factual errors is very significant, and the first port that people are stopping at to say, what if it's giving me wrong information about my brand or my organization? Absolutely critical to identify that and report that to the LLM. Number 2, and this is something that all of the current research around the role of earned media in Gen AI has done. But this is the one thing that is common to all research. LLMs have a very long memory, and old risks or old crises or old things that we thought we were long behind are being resurfaced, because some of these LLMs like to go back 15 years and go to that Wall Street article that was negative, or like to bring up old dramas, if you will. And that's been a very, very important part for PR and comms and risk teams to actually navigate what's being resurfaced of those list of things on our risk register that had long been dealt with. Number 3, and this is important for brands in very competitive segments, lack of visibility in those search results. I think I'm just getting the wind up of time, so I'll go through the next slides. I will go through what we need to measure for actionable results, and then I'll move to just a quick final wrap up. At Karma, we think that measuring for actionable results in LLM analysis is what you need to focus on. Comparing it with your earned media, comparing it with your owned social, really important because they're having a significant influence. I'll go through some of the slides here. I'll just finish very, very quickly on what are the implications for communicators. Obviously, point number one, a distinct approach for each LLM is required. They are very, very different. Two, expect rapid change and prepared to adapt. So make sure your teams are ready and prepared for sudden changes. Understand the reputational risks for your brand and your organization. And most importantly, I think try and engage with multiple teams in your organization. The opportunities and the risks cut across multiple functions. SEO didn't. GEO impacts HR, PR, digital, risk, technology. Bring everyone to the table so that you can get the most out of the opportunities and navigate the risks. Thank you, everyone. I think I'm a little bit over time, but I will pass on to the next speaker.
Thank you very much, Tina and Kali. Mabuhay, and thank you very much for lending us your time despite your very busy schedule. We are very happy that you were able to join us today in this general membership meeting. We appreciate it very much, Kali.
Thank you, Bobby.
Ending our GMM powerfully with another exceptional speaker. He is an expert in developing marketing communications plan founded on data, consumer, and media research and market mix analytics. 2 decades of transformative experience in advertising, media, and digital strategies across a wide array of industries. A Filipino returnee who has enhanced and sharpened his client media experience in leading the media operations for P&G North America, built partnerships across multinational clients as CPG client partner for Meta Thailand, and was a former digital and business director for various media networks in the Philippines and Thailand. Turning you now over to the country lead advertiser at Agency Philippines of Nielsen, Winlove Chavez, for our Nielsen POV segment. Hi, Winlove.
Bobby, maraming salamat. Right, actually, I'm presenting via my computer. I'm just not sure if everyone is seeing it. All right, thank you. Right, so good afternoon, everyone. My name is Winlove Chavez, your country lead in the Philippines Nielsen division. I'm responsible for the advertisers and agencies vertical. If you can actually lend me some 20 minutes of your time, I know it's already past lunch. That will be awesome as I ship you some quick media trends that we truly think will impact your brand planning this year and beyond. We at Nielsen boast our expansive and deep understanding of the media and audience landscape. As the industry's premium media intelligence platform, Nielsen has been enabling the advertisers, agencies, broadcast, and digital platform industries for more than 100 years in effectively targeting audiences and issue a consistent view how your consumers are actually evolving in terms of their media usage and consumption behavior. I hope the next slides will give you some realizations on how you, as brand builders, may need to pivot your planning and approach to media, and how more nascent technologies like AI is affecting how your consumers discover and perceive you. So first off, let's have a quick preview of the Philippine media landscape. Very interesting. So for those tenured brand builders in the audience, we have been used to seeing TV or seeing watched linear television as the dominant media behavior for Filipinos. In Nielsen, we have long recognized how internet shall lead in terms of behavior and later on shall reshape the future of all other channels. Year on year, internet access is only growing at around 1 percentage point based on our consumer and media view survey. But by the end of 2025, we have seen a 3% growth, 3 percentage point growth from 90% in 2024, now at 93%. This is basically driven by smartphones becoming more accessible by consumers, especially the DE segment, and the price of data has become more affordable. TV actually had the quick renaissance post-pandemic where we have posted 82% of Filipinos were watching linear TV by the end of 2022. In more recent years, the descent has been very steep as we're now only observing 69% claiming to have watched TV yesterday. Out of home takes the strong third medium since 2022, as the return to office and school has been enforced more and more. Traditional radio is on a slow decline now at 40%, where it used to reach 51% in 2022. Now, if we're going to dissect the smartphone ownership per generation, it is the generations Z and Y almost hitting saturation levels at 95 and 94% respectively. These are basically the people born between the 1980s and the 2010s. Interestingly, the baby boomers are no longer late in the game, as 7 out of them are now owning smartphones. So this is coming from an insight where grandparents are now ditching the legacy phones as they are seeing the value of faster access to information, health, and entertainment with data-enabled smartphones. Nielsen continues to see growth in this segment as we increasingly seeing incidences of hand-me-down, or should I say, hand-me-up phones from the younger generations in the family. Given that almost every urban Filipino already has a smartphone, you would already know how the shift in video content consumption has changed. Let me pause for a moment here as I let you process the data as what you're seeing on screen. Okay? So this Venn diagram is a representation of the unique and duplicated audience reached between linear television and mobile streaming. Observe that in December 2024, 70% of the urban Philippine viewers have seen or watched the same TV content in both linear TV and mobile. 17% have been purely watching TV content on mobile. A year after, there's an impressive shift where 24% of the audiences are said to be watching TV content now purely on mobile streaming. So what this means for you as advertisers is that you need to make sure your brand presence on linear TV should also be extended to the TV providers' mobile streaming inventories, which includes Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. They shall cover for the lost reach on linear television and ensure you are able to hit new audiences who are now becoming mobile streamer natives. Okay, so as a sample use case, let me show you how mobile streaming is driving duplicated and incremental audience to certain popular linear TV content. 24 Oras has been a staple primetime news and has been generating ratings across age segments as what you're seeing in your screen right now. Its cumulative program reach in a month on linear has been healthy at 50% plus among 40 years old and up. Despite having lower reach levels to younger age segments, the program is actually able to cover this group via mobile streaming, where incrementality has hit as high as 19 percentage points. On another use case, you're seeing here PBB Collab Celebrity Edition, the first edition, has been a massive success with all conversations on social media revolving around the housemates of the said franchise. While linear television may have posted fair ratings to its core target audience of 19 years old and below, eyeballs are actually also happening in mobile streaming, driving up its effective reach at 47%, the highest of all other age segments. What this means to you as brand builders. So in the case of 24 Oras, consider guaranteed placements in live streaming and VOD inventories to ensure your consistent visibility in the program. And number two, in the case of PBB and other future reality shows, consider in-program product placements to fully extend your reach to both linear and mobile streaming audiences. Right? Now, still in the realm of smartphone usage, top activities still involve social media and messaging, watching reels and vlogs. But more recently, e-wallet and online banking has entered the top 5 as more users are able to adapt to cashless society convenience, now at 65% penetration. In the same quarter 4 of our Nielsen survey, we have observed several interesting new entrants which involve job hunting at 15%, online betting at 5%, and teleconsultation at 3%. AI search now is actually the first time that we're including them in the survey, and we are already seeing a score of 10% penetration. This would include ChatGPT, Perplexity, Copilot, and Gemini. This just proves that our consumer behavior is changing much faster than anyone has predicted. All right. So, is it playing? Okay, this. I tested this tool recently. I searched for the best Android phones in Google AI, and it gave me 5 options with quick notes. What feature is making it best? No ads, but just a reasoned recommendation based on the information the system had found on the web. Imagine your consumer is doing the same thing for your category. They seek AI more and more for recommendations, understanding the pros and cons, benefits and losses, or even computing for the ROI it has on your life. Your competitor gets mentioned, but you don't. According to Dan Jones of The Medium, he says, and I quote, "This is not a ranking problem, but an existence problem," unquote. Brands more than ever need to be more discoverable with AI search, and he has laid down 3 key action plans that advertisers like you need to work on fast. First, consistent brand mentions across the web, especially in reviews, articles, and forum discussion. More signals from trusted platforms like YouTube and Reddit. And lastly, the recency of content and relevance to context of the search. Now, another trend that is driving the video fragmentation in the country is connected TV. I've been asked several times, so Winlove, how are you defining connected TV? So in Nielsen, we define connected TV as the ones including smart TV, internet connected TV, sticks and dongles like Chromecast or Apple TV, and set-top boxes like Android TV box. By the close of 2023, urban Philippines only had a 20% penetration of CTV. But by the end of 25, it has now close to 35%, driven by the high adoption of the middle to upper class, now at 60% ownership of CTV. Rural is presenting the same trend, where 1 out of 5 households is already having CTV at their homes. As the device is also becoming more affordable, and as we have observed, for as low as 12,000 pesos for a 24-inch smart TV, and can also be paid by installment for flexibility. Netflix and YouTube consistently top the charts of apps watched on CTV given their rich and more active content libraries. However, this year particularly, we also have seen the growth of View and iWant being accessed on CTV, now both at 30%. Now, as more ad inventories become more available to advertisers, Marketplace becomes more competitive in presenting more leaned-in audiences with CTV. And advertisers like you can fully take advantage of this. As multi-screening and cross-device planning become the new norm, more reasons for you as brand builders to measure effectively the cross-media and cross-platform reach and identify opportunities where to reduce media wastage. Nielsen actually has launched Nielsen One Ads, which effectively measures the actual people reach of a brand's campaign, leveraging our globally accepted measure of audiences, N1 graph, and identified the deduplicated reach of the campaign across devices and platforms. Advertiser is also given full transparency to the actual audience reached per each device and per each platform or publisher, which ones are actually bringing you more unique audiences or incremental audiences over time. Advertisers are also presented with a level of duplication of each device and each platform, letting you and your agency optimize your selection of publishers and effectively lessen the duplication, reallocating your investment to other channels or publishers that can deliver better scale. N1 ads actually had been successfully rolled out in North America and Europe, and it's now available in the Philippines. All right. Audio is another medium that we think is also evolving. You might be surprised. Similar to linear television, access to news and music has not only been with traditional radio devices, but also is consistently growing via other channels like mobile phones. Interestingly, Bluetooth speakers in recent years have actually pre-installed AM and FM, making broadcast bands more accessible. And this facelift actually has been steadily growing. Top radio stations remain consistent, such as Barangay LS, Love Radio, and Wish in Mega Manila. And BBRH and 774 are constant for Mega Manila AM. Note, however, that YouTube Music has grown fast in recent year, becoming the online music platform in the country, overtaking Spotify and Apple Music, which have long been present in the market. With handphones being the discovery medium now for younger generations, this is also where Gens Alpha and Z are discovering songs and bands or artists. Podcasts are also becoming more accessible as these platforms are integrating this format, diversifying their inventories. All right. While music and news are the typical motivations of our radio consumers, we have seen a varying content preference between urban and rural Filipinos. Based on our CMV Urban Survey, we have seen an over-indexing interest to news commentaries and love and relationship advices. Okay? This is a unique observation that we have seen in the urban area. Whereas for rural, drama remains a staple during their siestas in the mid-morning and afternoon. All right, and when we step back and see a bigger picture of urban versus rural consumers, we at Nielsen are able to finally create and paint the picture of how motivations and lifestyle psychographics and brand usage are of different levels among these consumer segments. As what you're seeing in this slide, these are the statements that are over-indexing among these consumer groups. Our urban neighbors confirm that internet shall be their first go-to in seeking for information, would prefer enticing and catchy ads, and can easily identify fake contents. Our rural brothers and sisters, however, showcase a different reality. While a good portion of them are already able to access the internet, most of them would still rely on PisoNet. So think of Wi-Fi installed in a sari-sari store. They are seated there for the next 15 to 30 minutes to check on social media, catch up on their linear TV dramas with Facebook or YouTube, watch local influencers' content, do a messenger call with relatives in the Philippines or in abroad. They may not be 100% on digital then. You see that they have loyalty to the brands that they grew up with, most especially with the local brands that have been talking to them because they know the local insights. In terms of category usage, the icons that you see on each side are the ones over indexing per segment and critical for you to know if you are even part of their pantry. The ones in the middle or the most common categories present opportunities for the brands to have a deeper understanding how they are being consumed by each segment in specific regions and how far your brands are actually scoring in terms of BUMO. In October of 2025, Nielsen released the first in-market comprehensive rural survey comprising 2,000 respondents in the rural regions of the Philippines. Nielsen intentionally applied a face-to-face methodology in order for us to understand and see the actual environment of our rural respondents. Check the availability of wireless broadband data in the area and translated the surveys based on their local vernaculars to ensure deep understanding and engagement to the questions. We have almost 500 statements on psychographics, 700 local and global brands, publishers, platforms, and broadcasts, which you can cross-tabulate for you to understand the picture of your category users or target audiences. All right. Now, I would love to talk more about this, but given the window that Bobby has given me, but thank you still, Bobby, let me have a quick recap about the key insights that Nielsen would love to provide you and provide you as thought starters when you return to your desk this afternoon. First, multi-screening becomes the norm. As brand builders, we need to ensure visibility is sustained in all video platforms, especially with the shifting trends in using screens. Be sure where you can actually find your new and young consumers because they are currently now in mobile streaming and CTV. If I also may, in this time of energy crisis, we may be foreseeing some belt tightening on ad spends. And we need to ensure our peso is spent well in making sure we tap the most important audiences possible with lesser duplication. Secondly, we are already at the inflection point and take advantage of becoming the early mover with AI search. Discuss this with your agency and search partners very soon because you need to be there now. All right. Lastly, this designed to win with hyper localization. 46% of the Philippine population is rural, and it is high time for us to best understand this consumer group with deeper local insights for your brands to resonate better and win their trust. All right. Again, I am Winlove Chavez of Nielsen Philippines. Maraming salamat, Pana. Feel free to take a screen grab of this slide and message me for anything about media and audience measurement. As what you may have seen, I only showcased a few data points, but you can actually avail of our Philippine Media Report, which discusses media behaviors, ad intel, and forecasts. Other solutions we can also discuss in the following days. Maraming salamat po, Pana.
Many thanks, Winlove, for such an interesting sharing of data. It's always a pleasure to watch and learn more about media trends and forecasts.
Thank you, Bobby. Appreciate you.
At this point, may we call on Pop Vargas, co-chairperson of PANA GMM Committee and PANA Director, to share with us today's key takeaways. Hello, Pop. Good afternoon.
Hi, Bobby. Thank you all, no, to all our speakers today, no, to Manny, to Tina, to Kali, and Winlove. I am sure that all the panel builders present today have gained a very deep understanding of how we marketers can actually build an AI-ready marketing teams. So can I go to the one slide of my key takeaways, Bobby? Okay. It might look like it's a really sort of so verbose, but overall takeaways, no, from the speakers that we have listened to today, I have three overall takeaways. One is that AI is reshaping both how brands are built and how they are discovered. We have listened to what Yas mentioned, no, our panel director, president mentioned earlier, that authenticity is a strong foundation for brand building. So when we do authentic brand building, AI should be there to help us, not the other way around. No? Secondly, content plus visibility is now as critical as media spend. Later, I will go through that in the succeeding points. No? And then the future-ready brands are those that are AI-enabled, hyper-personalized, and ecosystem-driven. In the presentation done by Manny on the strategic imperatives for brand building, it actually piqued my interest when he said that the shift from mass marketing to hyper-personalization and must be culturally relevant and engaging. When he did mention about most of like for example, I speak for our industry, where the industry is really part of a very huge DE market, and it's a sari store driven industry. No, I was picked by the shared by Mandy when he did mention that there's already an AI that's being done in sari stores, which is the Packwork study, I think. And this one actually does a huge personalization for sari store. And I think these things, no, we as marketers should be able to really use, no, especially for brands that are where brands volume are really towards the sari store market, no. Another thing that actually was mentioned by Manny is that marketers must evolve their roles in and operating models, no? From campaign execution to AI-enabled brand orchestration. And that success requires building ecosystems and balancing AI with human connection. In fact, the question that was raised by Manny in the presentation is something that we have to really think through, no? Is our AI approach suited to how we build our brands today? On the talk of Tina and Kali, Tina, I did the thing that you said, no, you have to come up with the correct prompt, no, and I think I failed on that because I'm used to typing my name as Pop Vargas. So what I did, I went to Chat GPT and then I typed Pop Vargas. Unfortunately, it was it said that I am a DJ male, very popular one in Spain. So it was really an epic fail for me. And then I just realized, oh, Tina said you have to type your full name and everything. So I typed Maria Lolita Vargas, and there sumakto yung mga information that was really flash, no? Siguro mga 70 to 80% of that is correct. And why am I sharing this? Because in the presentation that was done by Tina, he did, and Tina and Kali, no, they did say that it's very important that we have the correct prompts, no, for our brands, no. We should not just use our own brand assets, but we must optimize, no, the PR, Wikipedia, and other web content to stay visible for our brands, no. And then I know that Kali just browsed through one of her slides on what are the implications to communicators of when we use AI, and the significant reputational and control risks would emerge, no. Yun nga, as I shared, no, misinformation or biased narratives that an AI can confidently tell, no. We have to be very mindful of these things, how we ask the correct prompt, no, for this, no. On the presentation done by Queen Love, no, very interestingly, I know that all of us already as marketers, we know that TV is not is TV is not anymore that a channel that consumers will go to, no. And the digital dominance there is very clear, as mentioned by Win Love, no. I know that some of us, no, most of the marketers would not do any advertisement on TV anymore, or they have a combination of both TV and digital, for example. Some brands would go digital first approach and then do a combination of connected TV and the likes, no. And because media consumption is now fragmented and very interconnected, no, viewership actually extends to mobile streaming with high overlap. And in the presentation also done by Win Love, we did mention that AI search and evolving mobile behaviors are reshaping how consumers no discover our brands. So just to summarize, no, on the overall key takeaways, one, AI is reshaping both how brands are built and how they are discovered. Secondly, content plus visibility is now as critical as media spend. And thirdly, the future-ready brands are those that are AI-enabled, hyper-personalized, and ecosystem-driven. Salamat, Bobby.
Thank you very much, Pop, for that very comprehensive key takeaways. Thank you again. All right, thank you very much to Catapult Digital, our official live streaming partner, for our PANA virtual GMMs. Attention to all our PANA members. Requesting all of you to please scan this QR code to share with us your thoughts about our session for today and suggestion for our upcoming GMMs. Please, mag-stay muna to for a while in your screen. So please get your cell phone, scan this QR code. Your thoughts and your comments is very important to us. So please scan again this QR code to share with us your thoughts about our session for today and suggestions for our upcoming GMMs. Another exclusive for all PANA members, we will be sharing the speakers shareable deck. Yes, the 3 decks that they shared today within 1 week from now in our FYEO folders. So again, this is another exclusive to all PANA members. We will be sharing the speaker shareable deck within 1 week from now in our FYEO folder. So sa mga nakatune in na hindi pa PANA member, mag-PANA member na kayo so that you will be enjoying all these perks plus a lot more. Or if you know anyone who wanted to be a PANA member, please refer them to us. Thank you all for joining us this afternoon. This is PANA Executive Director Bobby Simborio, encouraging all brand builders and advertisers and industry leaders to shape the future of advertising and brand building with truth, responsibility, and purpose, leveraging on technology and innovation to create a society that is informed, compassionate, and trustworthy. Wishing everyone continued safety and good health. Let us remain united in prayer for peace in the world. To God be the glory. Good afternoon, everyone.